Joining us right now, Representative Lou Barletta, Republican of Pennsylvania, a leading voice in Congress on the immigration issue, and we're happy to have you this morning, Congressman Barletta.
Good to talk to you.
Well, I know that your speaker came out yesterday with some pretty forceful words for the president, basically saying in no uncertain terms that he is not going to get, in the speaker's words, a blank check for that $4 billion. Here's how he put it.
I can't tell you this, though. We're not giving the president a blank check. Beyond that, we'll wait further discussions with our members before we make any final decision.
From where you stand with regard to this border crisis and the word yesterday that Secretary Jay Johnson said that by the end of the year, possibly 90,000 of these unaccompanied children could be pouring over the border. What's your goal here? What are you going to do as the president is requesting close to $4 billion to, in his mind, fix the problem?
Well, I agree with the speaker. I mean, we certainly shouldn't give this president $3 to $4 billion to try to fix a problem that he had no interest or still has no interest in fixing. The fact that he's in Texas doing photo ops in Austin and Dallas, but refuses to go down and see with his own eyes what I saw, to talk to Governor Perry as to get ideas of what we need to do to solve this problem. And the fact that they knew this was going to happen in January at a Homeland Security hearing. I had in hand a request for information, a proposal looking where the Department of Homeland Security was looking for chaperones for up to 65,000 unaccompanied children. Well, if they knew that in January, what happened from there till now? Now, what did we do to stop this? So, the president, half of that money won't go to solve the problem. Half of it's going to more detention centers. And again, there's no indication to me that this problem is going to be solved.
All right, so you point out the president did not go to the border, and you're correct. He was within 230 miles by helicopter or by airplane, a matter of minutes from the border. And yet he chose not to go there. You went to McAllen, Texas. What did you see? And could you actually get the information that you were looking for down there? Because I keep hearing some members of Congress are being turned away and told they can't ask questions, they can't take pictures.
Well, that wasn't the case. We were members of the Homeland Security Committee were afforded an opportunity to go in, see the children, see the detention center firsthand, talk to some of the minors who were there, talk to the Border Patrol agents, get their view on what we need to do. Have a good conversation with Governor Perry and what he believes needs to happen. It is a terrible humanitarian crisis, very sad to watch these young adults and children in rooms where there are 20 to a cell or a room. I don't blame them. They've been enticed to come here. They've been told that if you come to the United States, you can stay. The majority who were interviewed said that they didn't leave because of the violence, as the administration wants everyone to believe. They left because they have somebody already here illegally, and they want to come home, and they were told that they can come here. It's a terrible situation. 1 out of every 3 girls are sexually abused along the way. Yeah. It's just a horrible situation. The Border Patrol's hands are tied. They cannot just turn them away at the border because of a 2008 law, and that's one of the first things we need to do is reverse that law. I co-sponsored a bill that Matt Salmon has out that would allow the Border Patrol to do their job. I agree with Governor Perry. We need the National Guard at the border. This is a national security issue, why our Border Patrol is babysitting and running daycare centers, warming formula, and changing diapers. People that want to harm Americans have an open passageway into the United States, as well as the drug cartel and gang members.
Representative Lou Barletta is our guest, Republican of Pennsylvania. You just mentioned this request for proposal for transportation that this has been bubbling out there for a while. In January, you said Homeland Security said we're going to need people to help transport these unaccompanied children. So you said they knew this was coming. I wonder if you can give me your opinion, because you know this issue pretty well. Do you think that, knowing that this was coming, do you think that the president and his administration didn't do anything to stop this from happening because they thought this would force Republicans into comprehensive immigration reform? Do you think that this was politics that drove their inaction?
Well, I've been beating my brain as to if you knew this information, if you had this information, and you knew that these young minors would be taking their lives in hand of drug cartel, why you would not do something to stop it. I can't help but think Rahm Emanuel saying never let a crisis go by. It's just been recently that the president went to Mexico to talk to the president of Mexico about what they can do or what they should be doing to stop it. And same with Vice President Biden. Why 5 months later? Why we're not prepared? Why did we not have detention centers so that these children could at least be put in a be treated, in a humanitarian way with medical screening?
That's the question, Congressman. Why? Why do you think it's either incompetence or they wanted this to happen?
Well, the president never has an interest in enforcing immigration laws. An open border is not a problem to this president. He doesn't see a priority of securing our nation's borders. He just released 36,000 criminal aliens. These were criminals who have committed crimes. Instead of deporting them, released them back into our neighborhoods. 164 of them committed murder. Now, if we can't deport somebody who's in the country illegally who committed murder, what do you think he's going to do with 140,000 children as they're estimating in 2015?
It sounds to me like you're saying he ignored this for political purposes.
Well, it certainly got the attention away from the VA and from Bergdahl and from the Affordable Care Act and Benghazi and all the other things that were swirling around here. And now we got, the subject is on immigration reform and whether or not, this is politically to his advantage. I think if that was the case, it certainly did backfire because this is a terrible situation. Our national security is at risk, and again, the president just refuses to go see firsthand what the problem is.
So ultimately, how is this going to get resolved? And we hear the administration say, "Oh, these kids are going back." Do you believe them?
Well, no, he can't send them back because of the 2008 law. These kids are walking across the border into the arms of Border Patrol because they've been told that they will get a permiso if they come here. They will be allowed to stay, and the Border Patrol can't turn them away as they can the children of Mexico and Canada, and that's the difference because of the 2008 law.
Well,
if you are from any other country, you have to be processed, given a hearing date, and that could be 3 years from now.
But they're talking about an expedited process. Do you believe that can actually take place?
No, I don't. I am very skeptical that's the case. Congress needs. Here's what I believe we need to do. Congress needs to reverse that law, the 2008 law, so that all minors, anyone entering the United States, can be turned away and sent back home. We need to put the National Guard on the border, as Governor Perry said. Our national security is at risk, and we've got to call the countries out who also should take huge responsibility for this. We have the United States Marine sitting in prison for over 3 months now because he made a wrong turn into Mexico. Please tell me how 65,000 young adults are able to travel 1,000 miles on the rooftops of trains and not be detected by the Mexican government. We should suspend our foreign aid until these countries come to the table. This should not be just America's problem, and we shouldn't be using more American taxpayers to solve a problem that other countries are allowing to happen.
All right, we got to leave it there, but that's great stuff. Representative Lou Barletta, Republican of Pennsylvania, thank you for continuing to stay on this border issue.
Yeah, we appreciate